Hi guys, this video is about a very powerful technology. It's a technology of making a pause, uh, and it actually enables us to slow down or to freeze time, especially in the moments when we need to have more clarity, when we need to do some important decision, or we don't know how to move on, what should be the next right step. Whenever we are in the place of chaos, a lot of emotions, a lot of thoughts, a lot of maybe people, different opinions, uh, it's good to know about this technology and to use it to slow down the time or to freeze the moment when we are not sure how to move on before we decide what is the next step or the next move. And everyone can do this. This is a very powerful technology. It takes only a conscious decision to make a pause before we say something, before we react, before we move on, especially in the moments when we are not sure what should be the next move. And when we feel like the opposing forces, the pull of our soul and ego, let's say, usually in those moments when we don't have clarity, there are those opposing forces. Like the ego is saying something, don't do this, it's too dangerous, you are not capable, you can't do this, uh, it's difficult, you will never make it, whatever. And your soul, so it wants you to shrink or to stay at the same place, basically not to move, because the movement is always where the change and then the growth and the most light is in the movement. And the soul usually goes the opposite way, so it goes to the expansion, to the movement, to your next, it leads you to your next level. So in that moment when you use this technology of pause and you actually slow down the time or freeze that time window, you can observe, and you can, in this moment of pause, no matter how long it takes, because it can take a few seconds, few minutes, maybe sometimes you need to pause for a few hours, few days if you need to do some important decision. But at this moment in of this pause, and when you slow down the time or freeze the time, it's your only time when you can observe what's going on, and you can see what's going on, what's the force of your ego, what is your ego saying, what's your soul saying. And maybe you can also identify if you want to grow and your soul is calling you somewhere and your ego is saying the opposite. Maybe you can also in this moment of pause identify your biggest blocks or the obstacles inside of you, what is preventing you from the movement, from the next step. And actually this is what you should do always when you are not sure, where there is chaos, when you don't know what's next step, or you don't know how to respond to someone. Always use this technology, because there is that moment, it's actually very powerful moment of your free will. Your free will is in that moment before you move on, before you react. And your reaction or your movement is either reactive or unconscious, let's say, or conscious. If there is a conscious decision, usually you need to make a little pause before it. Freeze the time, to slow it down, to observe what's going on, to be sure that you really know the truth, what is going on. If you go too quickly through it, maybe you are totally unaware of what are the forces of your ego, of your soul, what is going on, what are the obstacles. So if you use this, and you can practice it whenever you have a difficult situation, usually your ego resists to this, because ego always want to go like fast, not too much clarity in this, and your soul has infinite amount of time. So if you make a decision more from the soul level, and you slow down the time or freeze the time, and the more often you do this, then you will discover that you have really actually time for everything. There is plenty of time, abundance of time, and so just use this whenever you are not sure, or maybe you are in stress, you don't know what's the best decision. Slow down the time, make a pause, slow it down, slow the situation down, and just observe. You don't have to go like through it in 2 seconds. You can observe. You don't have to answer immediately. You don't have to reply. You don't have to move. Just choose this little change, but actually it's very, very powerful. Your intention should always be to see what is behind, to see the truth behind emotions, behind thoughts. What is the real truth? What is the trajectory of your life, of your soul? Where is your soul guiding you? And if you still listen more to your ego, you will have a tendency to stay stuck at one place, not to move, to be maybe scared, a lot of fear in your life. But still, if you use this technology of slowing down the time, you can observe these forces, you can observe your patterns or your behavior, why you don't, what is the obstacle in you, why you don't want to move on. And once you know this, once you are aware of this, once you see this, you can also see the deeper truth behind it, and you will do a better decisions from a different non-reactive space. So I hope this was useful. You can use it anytime you need more clarity. Just remember, you can do it whenever you want. You can stop, you can pause, and you can like slow down the consciousness, slow down the time. Maybe you can imagine it like that you press the pause button, and the movie of your life is frozen for the amount of time you decide the amount of time, and then you can press the play button and it can continue. but it will continue in the direction you consciously decide where it should lead. And it's a big difference. Try it, practice it every day, and you can let me know how it works for you. And see you soon in the next video.